studies and study for this and increase by this percent.
Yep.
That's the number.
I mean, with the last thing, like Showbaker did a really nice job getting these kids ready for the.
I mean, that's awesome because, as I say, I'm sure that over summer they really were excited to study some more, but that shows commitment to the students and commitment to the
Oh, absolutely. And I can say it is difficult sometimes when they don't, I guess, especially when they're younger. I think any of us, when we do something and we struggle to any degree and we don't reach a level we would want to, it's not always easy to get there. And academically, some kids struggle with taking that leap after not getting the first time. I've seen that just systemically where I've been. And I was told that it wasn't going to look like that, and it came through exactly like it was explained to me. So I was happy to see that.
And what do we have in store for the other 14 and 38 students?
We have some ways that we can definitely help them to meet different pathways that are there in order for them to meet expectations, both locally and for the state.
Do they get a third shot at the third bite of the apple, or?
I'm sorry?
Do they get a third bite of the apple, or?
Some do, depending on the situation. Some of the algebra students will be able to give it one more shot in May. Yeah.
Best of luck to them. I hope Showbaker can work some more miracles.
Among many. She's one of several, but she definitely is a Showbaker here.
Does anybody have any questions? More questions? Hearing none. On the field. Thank you.
Good evening. So today we were able to have the in-service day together as a faculty and staff, and it was the first day this year where we didn't have kind of our day planned out for us. We didn't have an iReady workshop or someone from the state coming to teach us about things. And while those are wonderful, today was a day that we could just focus on things that we needed to focus on in the building. And it's an incredible opportunity. It's also a little bit stressful from where I sit because it's important to take really good use of that time and make it meaningful for everybody involved. Happy to report that we only had one staff absence today, so everybody was there and engaged. I just want to give you a little bit an overview of how we spent our day because I was extremely proud of the engagement from the staff. So in the morning, the first 3 hours of the morning, we met by departments. Mr. Powell from the high school, who some of you met, I think, in the curriculum meeting where he presented about steel standards with Dr. Berryman. He came down and put on his teacher leader hat, and he worked with the entire Maple Avenue Science Department on those steel standards. Now, what they've been doing with him every single month is kind of figuring out how are we going to teach these things, and what concepts are going to go in which grade level, and that's sort of like nuts and bolts of it. But today, he put on a presentation from his learning about how we should instruct these standards. So it's sort of a different approach. It's not something totally revolutionary, but moving away from, just the facts and the figures and memorizing the periodic table and things that you can just Google, but focusing on studying a phenomenon and investigating and making sense of the data, critiquing what they understand, and uncovering their misconceptions and being able to then apply and transfer that learning and that process to other things. So it's really not growth, it's not linear, it's kind of a cyclical nature, but that was the basis of the discussion today in science. It was excellent. Kudos to Mr. Powell. The social studies, arts, and electives department submitted to me their final, in air quotes, drafts of their proficiency scales. So I'll be giving them some feedback before I pass it on to Dr. Berryman. But that covers the social studies department and the first round of elective courses. So teachers who teach, electives will be going back to work on the other courses that they have in their catalog. But that's a significant number of courses that I'll be pleased to send over very soon. The math department focused on those open-ended responses. Some of our math teachers went to the IU a few weeks ago and sat in a session with Kevin Morrow, who you may have heard Dr. Berryman speak about before from PBE, about how those questions are written, the sorts of responses that they're looking for students, how they're scored, the in-depth nature that a student has to put in their response to get full credit, helping us to understand that a little bit better. Because we understand that when we can break something apart and understand each of its pieces, we can put it back together a bit stronger. English also talked about their open-ended responses. They are benchmarking those on a regular basis. And our learning support teachers met with Ms. Lass, and they talked about IEP writing process, classroom and assessment accommodations, assistive technology, excuse me, and the way that we support our students in the co-teaching model and also during the support period. All of that before lunch. Then after lunch, we had a couple of different tasks. Teachers were given time to complete their PSSA training. There's an online component that all staff members have to sit through each year. Just some classroom tasks that anybody who's been in a classroom knows that sometimes you just need time to work on the work. So just a couple hours in their classroom to work on planning and preparation. And at the end of the day, Ms. Lass and I met with our PAC, which is our Principals Advisory Cabinet that we put together. The purpose of this cabinet is to help us to recognize things that may be in our blind spots as leaders and help us celebrate things that are going well. So some of the things that came out of this meeting today will help us refine some processes at Maple Avenue. Teachers brought up some new ideas for different ways that we could collaborate with each other, ways to incentivize students, and make sure that we're maintaining a positive morale at Maple Avenue. So it was a busy day, and we were all very glad to have the time together.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cochran?
Good evening.
Bill,
Dave Cochran, our assistant principal at LA Creek. I don't get to speak too often in front of you, so thank you for allowing me to share a few awesome things that are happening in LA Creek for the last few weeks. First, we'll start with Read Across America. We celebrated from March 3rd to the 7th. The week was a busy one where kiddos were able to Read Across America Week is celebrated in coordination with Dr. Seuss's birthday, which is March 2nd, which is Sunday. We take the week that follows and do all the things that we love, and we'll celebrate reading. So things that we did, ACE's reading committee set up a schedule that included themed dress days for the week, which included things like Cozy Up with a Book, which included wearing PJs to school, Hats On for Reading, which is a celebration of Cat in the Hat, of course, where the kiddos wore hats of their liking. They were able to read with book buddies. That is a coordination between grade levels and kiddos coming together and reading together. We were able to invite guest readers in to read the classes. And there was a PTO event, which I know Ms. Brennan already shared, at night in the evening. I think it was a Thursday evening, where the kiddos were able to, with their parents, come around, tour the building, see the decorations. They were also able to vote on decorated doors and preview the plays that were put on by our fifth graders. 2 mini plays, the culmination of the week included the 2 mini plays that 31 fifth graders were put on, and they practiced those plays throughout the week. The months that preceded it to prepare for it. And then when they were not watching those plays, they were able to play or participate in the play day activities that was discussed in the past. Our next highlight is the pilot award committee that works to work through the school store. They provide opportunities for students to meet positive behavior expectations. Each month, students have the opportunity to spend their Bolt bucks on the school store. The store has grown over the past 2 months to include opportunities with popcorn. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well all of a sudden.
Laura?
Sorry.
It's acceptable if we can
We can do the rest when we're here.
We can, that's best. Under the circumstances, we don't,
No, it's okay, this
I
weekend.
don't want to make them feel bad or anything.
Well, I think we're still.
Okay. We're gonna take a break while Danielle, take 5 minutes. Or until Danielle comes back. Yeah, please do, please. Yeah. What clip was written on the back? On the back. Yep. Someone said they could, was it 40 words or less?
Yeah, we have a certain number of things.
What I do is I'll watch their video. Oh, the studies from?
I was
Do
in
they have live streaming?
San Augustine, Florida,
Mhm.
and I ran into an art gallery, and they had actual artwork.
Did you have Georgia?
And I came back close to buying it, and it
You really
was
some of the
Key West, and I have it again, I was like, I literally have my hand on my wall. And I still want to buy it, but it's like,
The agenda doesn't keep up with whatever they're talking about.
it's actual work.
So
This, yeah, and my favorite one is
it costs too much for them to live stream. Yeah, it costs $30 to $40,000. But he did.
Do you remember the TV show Fame? Remember the guy that taught the piano, looked like a guy? He's the one that wrote the music for that. Or Earl, the singer.
I did see a chart. They're saying girls won Littlestown U14 from
Yeah.
so they won it with 13-year-olds and 12-year-olds. There were 2 12-year-olds playing. Yeah.
I'm just saying. well, work the well bill versus bills for well bill.
And all honesty,
Yeah.
Did she sign up for the speaker?
I did.
You did? Oh, good, so you are?
I don't know what I'm saying yet. Are you still?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm on there.
Are you?
Not really. I'll let you know.
No, he went to New York City.
It's 2 hours long, the last two times.
One video.
Yeah.
The dining room. It's all out. And a living room. It's all white.
All meetings first.
I'm not. I just upset the story and always pick up colors to see which I could find myself go different, like, you know.
Never dull moment here at LASD.
We're gonna build another garage. We have a 3-bed garage right now. But we're gonna build separate. Yeah. And I wanted to match the house. So that's gonna cost us a pretty penny. And then I know. I know. My son's going to Tennessee. When he goes, I'll go, you know. Yeah, that's right, about 3 years. Oh,
Major holiday. Not like the other guy. He got way back in the day.
I'm disappointed that they didn't make it. They were.
I can't either. But he made a bubble. Yeah. He made a bubble.
Got back there within one. I was watching the Maryland one, and it was blowing out of place. No, he's not. I brought my
Oh, yes. I guess you would
Let's see if she sang better. She might be sick and she said they used to have, she appreciates it.
Yeah, right?
Really didn't do it right the first time? Nope. Then she went to this one now. She was sick and she just got tired of it, so she went to the doctor.
People do that with me all the time. I get a bunch of people drive behind me.
And that's what they did.
I had a whole thing about Main Street. And I'm like, okay, I don't know who you are.
So I wanted the dollars.
It's, and it's,
That's on her
I don't know if
thing.
it's in high school, but I gave it back to the school because it was grandma. And it's, you know, when she graduated, school was like, we love that as a pack. And I gave them, so I said, well, let me give a picture to go with it. So I found this, a picture of my great-grandma, my grandma went to production in her graduation gown, and then they found, and it looked like they were looking yeah, it was Mother Superior, they were the big flying nuns. They're like, we haven't seen one of these yet. So I'm like, 1922. Got a house, they made it He was been there a long time, but a lot of